Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and today I'm playing a little bit more Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Path. So how is it going, everybody? I hope everything is going fine. I'm just going to start out right off the bat by saying I'm a little bit jumpy and a little bit squicky right now, because, I mean, this is completely off of what's been going on over on the stream. Yeah, I just went for a walk recently, and... Here, I'm gonna go ahead and just, like, lower the music here, because this is really not music that's fitting for this conversation. But anyway. No, I just recently went for a walk, and I went through a little bit of a woodland area, and I think I might have disturbed, like, a nest of ticks or something, because I ended up finding one tick on the bottom of my shoe when when I was just taking a look at my shoes when I got home. And the reason why I was looking at my shoes to begin with is because I found a wood tick crawling up my shoulder. And that kind of freaked me out, because I'm just like, oh, good, fuck that. So, yeah, so far that's about 2. I swatted one off, saw one sitting at the bottom of my shoe, and then a little while later, I found one wood tick that was crawling just over my my computer monitor, and I was freaking the hell out. I think that might have been the same wood tick that had crawled on my shoulder, you know, and like, it was on my arm. I hope so, because otherwise that would have been 3 ticks in a row. And if that was 3 ticks, then there's one that is missing. But I've been like... I hate wood ticks. I hate them. This is a long diatribe of nonsense just to say I hate wood ticks. But like ever since then, I've like vacuumed the carpet in here. I've taken off of the clothes that I was wearing previously. I put on brand new ones. I checked for ticks and bites on me all over. So, needless to say, I'm a little bit jumpy and a little bit freaked out right now. And hopefully playing a little bit more Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Path will shake me out of that. Maybe. Either that or I'll be just as agitated. I don't know. But anyway, last time that we played, we were continuing to try and take a hold of this one case that, for whatever reason, we're not allowed to talk about and we're not allowed to do. Hello, Mario. Finally, something? Something what? Let me drink that. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, we finally got more of an in-depth look at the best. Good fucking God. And you know what? I've had some time to think about him, and honestly, I hate the ever-loving daylights out of his character, but I also really, really love to hate him, so I kind of love him. Just a little bit. I'm a big fan of pompous assholes that have no right to be pompous assholes. No one you watch was on today. Well, hello there. Fair enough. To be fair, there are a lot of people that are probably focusing on E3 coverage and things of that nature, so I'm sure a lot of people probably aren't streaming unless they're talking directly about the E3 stuff. And luckily, there's nothing really interesting going on for me right now. And there might be something interesting tomorrow. Shrug. I have no idea. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the game, shall we? There we go. Continue where we left off. And also I noticed... Okay, end part 1. For a second there I thought, are we going to have another situation where it's like, the end? I could have made this the part last time if I just streamed longer. Merv. Anywho. March 28th, 3:02 p.m. Detention Center, Visitors Room. Why did you not mention that beforehand? No, but I did. What didn't I mention? That you're a member of the Berry Big Circus? No. It's just that, you know, I'm not a... I call myself a member... I can't call myself a member yet. I'm just a new recruit. Regardless, that still makes you a member. Oh god. Get some sniffing salts. So why didn't you tell us this before? If I told you I was part of the circus, it would have been... maybe look suspicious, right? Since I also knew Knightley and all that. I didn't think anyone would believe what I had to say. Not even you guys, okay? Didn't we promise to believe in you? Mr. Edgeworth, you're just kinda scary. Fair enough. Man, you're just terrible at getting info from people, aren't you, Miles?
That's none of your concern.
I would say we're pretty good. I mean, the only people that we're really good at getting information from are people that are already, like, stone hardy. And we just freak out anybody who, like, isn't stone hardy.
Looks like we need to have a talk with him again.
So, what did you do in the circus, Simon? I guess you could say I'm a wild animal tamer. I'm still just an apprentice, though. Have you worked with the lions? Wow, that's incredible! So you command lions and tigers to do your bidding, right? No, nothing crazy like that. No way. My partner is this little guy right here. Monkey.
And that makes you a wild animal tamer?
Hey, monkeys are wild animals. Don't you... You don't want to get in the way of a monkey. They're still wild. He's more like an organ grinder than a wild animal tamer. And the monkey's here with him. Hey, monkey, cut that out. He can be quite a handful sometimes. Burp, burp. Seems more like the monkey controls you.
I thought organ grinders controlled their monkeys, not the other way around.
Yes. Here. I'm gonna swap over to the other headset. And also paranoidly take a look at my legs to make sure there aren't any weird ticks. No. Nope, doesn't look like it. There. And also lower that in my own ears, because I didn't lower these before. Anyways, the very big circus.
Yesterday you told us you were just a regular employee, correct?
Even if I'm a member of the circus, I'm still legally an employee. We're just like any regular company. The ringleader is the boss, and I'm just a grunt. I even have a supervisor. She's the head of the Wild Animal Tamer Division. No matter what kind of fierce creature, they all immediately follow her every command. She might not even be able to get a handle on Miles here.
I am not a wild animal. Did you and your supervisor take part in the animal show here at the prison?
Yeah, it was just us two. It was only a small operation this time around. Basically, my supervisor takes center stage, and I take care of all the dirty work. Well, I did have a tiny part in the performance.
So there are only 2 members of the circus that are related to this case.
Are we going to meet the one that was the second part of the circus? Because I think we've already met her before. Anyway, your movements.
So, can you tell me about your movements around the prison?
Okay. I went to meet Knightley 2 days ago, around noon.
And that's when you gave him the chessboard?
That's right. And then that night I started setting up the stage in the courtyard. It was pretty tough going back and forth, moving all the crates by myself. Poor bastard. I left everything in workroom A, I think. Just temporary storage.
Workroom A. That's where the body was discovered.
That would explain... Well, okay. Does that explain all of the weird stuff that was also sitting inside that workroom? You know, some of like the pulleys and the levers and all that. Or, you know, like the weird winches. Didn't your supervisor help you at all? No way! I can't let her do anything like that, That's my job! After I got everything ready, we started rehearsing. When we left, it was almost midnight. The show was set to start at 8 a.m. the next day and go on until 10 a.m.
The only one who went in and out of there where the body was found was Mr. Keys. And then the body was found just before the show ended.
Suspicious.
Do you happen to know why you were arrested?
Yeah, it's weird how it happened so fast. I don't think that the pest guy would just... nice one. Would have just have you arrested on a whim.
I wouldn't put it past him, though.
Well, maybe it's because of that. When I was moving the crates, I decided to go check up on him. You know, nightly.
You went directly into the detention block? Did you have permission?
No. I had to sneak in. It wasn't a formal visit or anything.
Didn't you already see him 2 days ago? Why would you go and do such a thing?
Well, we're the only friends either of us has had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families.
Seems like Simon and Money saw Ratatouille. Maybe.
I just wanted to talk with him for a bit, so I went to see him.
You didn't have a family?
When I was younger, I lost the only family I had, my father.
So is that it? I know all too well how it feels to lose your father at a young age.
Oh, don't get sappy. Do not get sappy in this situation. He might still be guilty, you don't know. So you're the same as Mr. Edgeworth and me.
Boo! So it was just the two of you talking at that time?
Yes, all the other cells were empty, and there weren't any guards nearby either. But then you got found out, and that's why they suspected you.
What? What? Did I do something really bad?
You snuck into a prison. Yes.
Something must have happened while Mr. Keyes and Knightley were alone. That's probably the best logic. It seems that we'll need to talk with your supervisor as well.
Yes. She should be here today, too. Probably in the courtyard. I'm sorry it turned out like this, boss. Simon, if there's anything we can do to help, just tell us.
What? But I can't do anything in return.
Don't you worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient information about your past. I doubt you have any motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death. And I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. All right, I'll get you out of here. We'll believe in you.
See, we've had timid people and people that have seemed completely innocent in the past that turned out to be scumbags. So maybe don't.
Give us free tickets to your show.
Well, what do we have here? Starting to get a hang of the whole defense attorney gig. Sounded a bit like your old man just now.
Me? Sound like my father?
He'd say the defendant's attorney's job is to be an ally to the deserted. If you're gonna ride that stallion into the sunrise, wait for me. I want in too.
Mr. Shields, I think you mean sunset?
yeah, of course. That was just a joke. Want some candy? No. No, thank you. I don't like sweets. Either that or you can't eat it next to the monkey, because the monkey would probably want some too. Ah, really? What a shame. What's wrong with the sunrise? The legendary Yatagarasu is all about the sun, since the sunlight always exposes the truth.
Good grief.
And now I'm just imagining Edgeworth kicking a football.
For now, let's just head to the prison courtyard and see what we can find there.
Ah, the shutter is open.
Yes, it looks like that way leads to the courtyard.
So, what are we waiting for? Come on, let's get a move on. Jeez, cool your horses, man.
She's certainly in high spirits.
Whoopity whoop whoop whoop, off we go. This should be a fun little reunion. March 28th, 3:37 p.m., prison courtyard.
So this is the courtyard. Just before the body was discovered, the animal show was held here.
Looks like a carnival! Man, I bet it was lots of fun! And she's off.
The prisoners were gathered here when the body was found. So that means whoever saw the show has an alibi.
Very well. Either that or it was some intrinsic-ass plan.
We should start by checking the area for...
Eek!
Kay? Uh-oh.
Cut it out, you! Help me, Mr. Edgeworth!
You there! Stop right this instant! Yes, because talking to the elephant makes it stop.
Ow, 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 ow! Someone! Anyone! Help! Down! A stick! Down!
Who are... Howdy, madam.
Looks like you found a new playmate. Good for you, Astik.
It wasn't playing around. It was about to eat me.
Huh? No way. That's impossible. This child doesn't bite. Often.
Often, huh? Edgy never met her. Oh. I guess... Oh, yeah, I guess not. Interesting.
People normally never get to play with an elephant up close. Isn't it wonderful?
No, it's not.
It's wonderful, right?
It was simply marvelous, little lady. Mr. Shields.
Really? Oh, that makes me so happy.
So, how about a hug? As thanks, stop trying to hug everyone. Especially the ladies. Yeah, thank you, elephant. Yeah, watch where you're swinging that thing. Weren't you taught not to hit people with your trunk? I don't know, I think it's good self-defense.
It looks like Astik is friends with everyone.
I am an assistant of this defense attorney. My name is Miles Edgeworth.
Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Regina Berry. Nice to meet ya. I'm the great thief and defense attorney's assistant, Kay Faraday.
That's a rather complicated job title.
Yes, I remember that this was, see, I didn't know, because I remember that, Edgeworth was a part of the first game, and then took some, major little absences of being actually on the floor. And, yeah, Francie was in charge, and Edgeworth was away. And the one playing Mr. Elephant is the defense attorney, Mr. Ray Shields. It's not Mr. Elephant, it's Astik, the fantastic Asian elephant. You're incredible, Regina. You made Astik stop right away. Well, I'm a wild animal tamer after all. Really? Then you must be Simon's supervisor. Yep, I'm the head of the Berry Big Circus Wild Animal Tamer Division. The one and only Regina Berry. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Ace Attorney Ray Shields. Why does it always have to be Ace Attorney? Or, Ace Magician? Ace Prosecutor.
Ace of cards. It looks like he's the one she has a handle on.
Yes, she's perfect.
What are you mumbling about, Kay?
Look at her. She's energetic, fun-living, and healthy. She could be the new member of the Yatagarasu. She'd be perfect as a great thief.
Oh, please. She's already been through enough illegal shit.
A great thief? That sounds like fun. We can make a huge ruckus with the animals. You can't make a ruckus. A great thief is supposed to be quiet and sneaky-like. But the show needs to have flash. Being quiet is kind of boring. I guess she's not very thief-like after all.
It seems there has been a breakdown in negotiations. Good.
Alright, let's get started. Mr. Edgeworth, let's check out anything that looks suspicious. We'll even look through the barbed wire if we have to. I don't know. The elephant might not want us to come near.
Yes, we need to gather more information about the case. We should also try talking with anyone connected to the case.
Very well. Give me a second. I'm going to click on something real quick. There we go. I forgot to swap a tab out in one of the ridiculous amount of windows I have up. There we go. Good to go. Hi.
It's the Berry Big Circus's Asian elephant Astik. Supposedly very friendly with humans.
A little bit stoic to me.
Doesn't seem very friendly.
It's your stern gaze, Mr. Edgeworth. You must think you're the boss.
Are you comparing me to an animal?
That's not what I meant. I think it approves of you.
That doesn't make me the least bit happy.
Okay, so you kept on hinting that we might have to look at the barbed wire. Danger! High voltage. These signs really do exist. On the other side, you can see what appears to be the detention center's garden.
It's just as Warden Roland said. You can see the garden from her office.
If it weren't for this barbed wire, we could take a look at the garden on the other side. I wonder why we would need to, but...
That is Warden Roland's prized garden. I doubt she'd let us in so easily.
Okay, we got that little... Oh god, that is a dead fish in the corner. Ribbit!
What are you doing?
Don't you know? If you croak like a frog at a pond, they will come towards you.
The only things that are coming towards you are the water striders.
Water striders are so cool! They're like ninjas! They glide gracefully on top of the water. Oh, I wish I could do that.
What about the frogs?
We got a stage here. Oh, hi, bastard. I'll talk to you in a moment.
This is the stage where they put on the animal show.
If I put on a great thief show, I wonder if anyone would come. I mean, how would you even do that? Would you literally just steal people's wallets and then, like, maybe give them back so that it's not a horrible illegal show?
I'm pretty sure the police would show up.
Oh, God, that reminds me of, what was it? Shit, my mom was telling me a story about this one time where, she went off to this one show. I forget what it was for. Damn it, I don't know. It was like a live stage show, and I guess it was... I think it was like Reefer Madness or something. No, wait, not Reefer Madness. No, it's not Reefer Madness. It was something else. Shit, I don't know. It was a pretty, like, risque thing at the time, that's for sure. Nowadays, it wouldn't have been nearly as risque. But she went there, and about halfway through the show, one of the people that was playing a cop in the show comes up on stage, and he's just like, how's everybody enjoying the show? And everybody cheers, and then he's like, well, that's good, because you're all under arrest. And he was lying. It was again, he was the cop, he was pretending. He's just like... Because technically speaking, the show that they were watching, it wasn't necessarily illegal, but it was certainly extremely taboo at the time. I don't know. I wish I could remember what the show was.
That door is locked.
Want me to pick the lock? Success is not guaranteed, though.
No, if need, I'll just borrow a key.
Sheesh. I thought it was finally a chance for me to steal the spotlight.
Don't even think about stealing anything in my presence. Not even the spotlight. It's a wicker crate. No, there are tires attached to it, so I guess it's a cart.
Kind of smells like animals.
They probably use this instead of a hand trolley at the circus.
Just once I'd like to ride one of these bad boys down a hill. Oh, or maybe one of those office chairs with wheels. Doesn't that sound like fun? There's a PlayStation game about that, right?
What is she talking about?
Can I look at the crates back here? Let me see. Nope. All I'm doing is looking at Mystique. Blobbity blobbity blue. Okay. Next up, apparently they did this in the middle of the basketball court. Oh boy! This stuff.
This crude-looking well seems handcrafted. Was it built by the inmates?
There are a bunch of tools lying around the well. A long piece of rope and a heavy-looking weight. It weighs 33 pounds. It says so right there. There's even a couple of pulleys. So maybe somebody could have done some kind of disappearing act with something or something to that degree. I'm not sure.
Kay, please stop touching other people's things.
Stingy pants! I'm just checking stuff out. It's not like I'm going to take them home with me. I don't know, you're a great thief, so maybe you will.
Still, those tools. What were they used for?
Very well, I can't inspect them. You got chairs.
These were used for audience seating during the show.
Folding up all these chairs must have been a chore.
Is that so?
Don't tell me, you've never tidied up folding chairs before.
I've delegated this task to others in the past.
Mr. Edgeworth, you should try doing some manual labor once in a while.
I'll look into it. Not gonna promise I'm going to do it.
Hey, madam.
Head of the Wild Animal Tamer Division. Are you Mr. Keys' supervisor?
That's right. Very Big Circus was created by my daddy. But daddy died in a murder incident.
Your dad is... Everybody's dad is leaving them.
But after that, our current ringmaster made the circus even bigger. The ringmaster is daddy's close friend. He's like a funny uncle.
Wow, a funny uncle. That's great, Regina.
Yup. Uncle Mo established the Wild Animal Tamer, Magic, and Ventriloquist divisions. Only the Wild Animal Tamer and Ventriloquist divisions have subordinates, though. Very Big Circus is going to become even more fabulous.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
The way these two are carrying on, I'd hate to put a damper on things.
Yeah, but unfortunately we kind of have to at some point, right? Because, someone's dead.
Could you tell us about the animal show?
It's an amazing show. It has a storyline and everything. What's more, it's a love story. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Very nice. Are you the heroine, Regina Pie? Eh.
Nope, the heroine of the show is Mystique. And her partner is Regent the Tiger. It's about the forbidden love between an elephant and a tiger.
That sounds very awkward. How the heck would that work? The elephant and a tiger? Forbidden love?
That's right. It's what they call a love triangle.
Isn't it No, it's not a love triangle because there has to be wait. Was there a third person that wasn't mentioned? I'm pretty sure that's just like love between two things. Sounds amazing, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Heroine. Mystique is a female elephant?
Since it's a love triangle, shouldn't there be one more animal involved?
Yup, the third animal. He's the one who interferes with the love between Mystique and Regent.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you think it is?
Probably a wood tick. Well, since it's a circus, perhaps a lion?
I think a crow would be nice. Of course you think a crow would be nice.
The third animal is a naughty little monkey.
The scales suddenly got smaller.
The lion is dead, Miles. Yes.
Oh, Monkey! Money the Monkey! Nope, the one who plays the role of the monkey is
Simon. Oh, that's under, yeah. Undercut as all fuck.
Money's a little too small. He's like the villain who tries to break up the love between Mystique and Regent. How will Mystique and Regent control their own destiny? Isn't it wonderful?
I guess.
I thought Mr. Keys just did all the grunt work.
Wouldn't you feel sorry for Simon if he didn't get to perform on stage?
I don't know, I feel like that's a little bit demeaning.
Could you tell me about the preparations for the show?
Simon handled everything, so I don't know that much about it. Simon insisted on it. He wanted me to focus on the show. I saw Simon doing something near the well, though.
The well? If I recall, it was behind the stage. I better go take a look at it later.
He even moved this giant cage all by himself. Simon is such a nice guy.
That sounds like something Simon would do. He's a little bit of a pushover.
While crying profusely.
During the preparations, Simon went back and forth between the workroom and the courtyard. We were using the workroom to store our equipment. Only Simon entered the room, so I don't know anything about it.
The workroom? Was it the one where we found the dead body? So Simon was the only one who entered workroom A.
Great. So the scales keep tipping in Simon's direction. Shit. Man, the bad news, exactly, just keeps on coming.
Mr. Lawyer, please promise me you'll help Simon.
Don't worry, despite his looks, Mr. Edgeworth is really amazing.
Despite my looks? And just what is wrong with the way I look? Good question. I got the silvery hair thing going on, the early silvery hair, giving me wisdom.
Oh my. Oh, oh dear, hi.
Oh, there you are, Regina, darling. Oh, Miss Roland. I was looking all over for you. I wanted to have a little chat with you.
I guess I'll die. Eventually, I'm gonna have to go over to that well again. I'll talk with you directly.
Could you tell me a little about this prison?
Currently, this place is my pride and joy, which I like to call our home. When I first came here, this prison was in a terrible state.
Terrible state? You mean the prisoners' attitudes?
There are no bad children in my family. It was the environment that was terrible. That's why, after giving it a lot of thought, I enlisted the help of the animals.
Being together with animals will soften up even the most hardened criminals.
Right now, everyone has returned to their most honest self. Just take a look at Frankie. He's a model prisoner.
A model prisoner who was trying to steal from a dead body.
Yes. Let's ask about Mr. Sochwit.
There are lots of model prisoners here, but Frankie is number one. He's proactive with his job, training, and helps out with the chores.
Don't the other model prisoners do job training and chores?
Don't be silly. They all do, of course. It's just that Frankie here, he has his sights set on something different.
Something feels strange.
Is he trying to, maybe, like, now that he's gotten away with no death penalty, is he trying to, like, soften his sentence or something?
In any case, he's a very good boy. Please get along with one another.
Okay. How did you get to know about the circus stuff?
The enchanting music, the prancing animals, the very big circus is fabulous. If you come here, you can see a show once a month.
I'm not going to prison once a month. Really? Then maybe I should.
Was she just thinking about committing a crime? Once a month, you said. Is it always the very big circus?
Of course. I'm Regina Darling's biggest fan. My darling Regina. She's just so fabulous. She's such a cutie pie, I could just eat her up.
She really likes her darling Regina.
That's why I'm worried about poor little Simon. If he's found guilty, Regina Darling will be heartbroken. Mr. Lawyer, please take care of little Simon. If there's anything I can help with, please don't hesitate to ask.
Give me full permission to view the entirety of the prison, please. There. I guess I'll be back if I have questions. You.
Oh, Mr. Attorney, how are we doing today?
We're doing... Hey, we just met a few moments ago.
Please do forgive me. Ever since I've come here, I've been working on refining my speech. That's not the only thing that needs refining. Right now, I'm helping out with the cleanup after the show. But if there's anything you need, please let me know. You have my full cooperation.
Oh, sure. Give us more information about why you lied.
I'm in the middle of volunteer work right now. As you can see, I'm a model prisoner.
Shut the hell up.
I have been reborn inside this prison.
Reborn as a thief.
That was
The devil made me do it. Fuck that. No, you did that, you asshole. How can you blame the devil? You're a disgrace to thieves.
I have nothing to say. I still have much to learn.
As a thief?
But as you can see, I have exchanged my bracelet for a working one.
After being forced, probably.
I will continue to devote myself to being a model prisoner.
Again, with the model prisoner. Give it a rest already.
Okay. How much does he know about actual, like, pet grooming? Let's actually get some information on that one. If he doesn't know anything, then he's probably going to say nothing.
I'm training to pay my debt to society once I become eligible for parole.
So you were training instead of watching the animal show?
So there were only two people who did not watch the show, Sawit and Doggin. Why didn't you say anything about Doggin earlier?
Well, if you asked my inmate at the prison, they'd all think twice before telling you. That person is like the ruler of this place.
Being terrified into a corner.
Around here, we call him the supplier.
The supplier?
If you ask him nicely, he can provide you with anything you want.
What? Is that allowed?
Normally it's not allowed, but with him, it's another story.
Again, intimidation works wonders.
He supposedly has a secret route to procure these goods.
As the supplier, Dogan would be in a position of power.
However, I put all that behind me. All I care about now is applying mud packs to the animals.
Mud packs?
I coat the animal's fur with my mineral-rich mud packs to give it a beautiful shine.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
To help with my training, I give them to all the animals in prison, each and every one of them.
Mud, huh? Could be related to that piece of evidence. I should present it to him.
Don't quite recall. What was the mud thing? Let me see. Anything about the black dog? Let me think about it. Oh, right. There was a glove that had... Yeah, was covered in dirt. Oh.
That has nothing to do with me, so I know nothing about it. Bullshit!
You have a plastic glove in your pocket, and only one.
Are you sure about that? I think you know more than you're letting on.
Preposterous! From head to toe! There's not a single thing about me that is a lie. Because I am a model prisoner.
The hair on his head is a lie, but it's probably better if I didn't say anything about it.
Right, maybe it was the rubber glove directly, because it said it had mud on it. Yes.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Where did the mud on the glove come from?
That's the mud from my mud packets. At the time, I was practicing applying my mud packs.
Could you tell me when this took place on the day of the incident?
Since the animal show had started, I'd say it was around 9 a.m. The mud packs turned the animals' bodies pitch black, and my heart was pure white. I was totally engrossed with covering the animals in mud.
I know mud is used in makeovers, but for animals? Really? Do they need to be covered in mud? I mean, they'll do that regardless. I don't know, is it?
Prison life must be taxing on his stress levels.
Okay. So specifically, this wasn't just any old plain mud. It was special mud.
Thanks to the warden's policies, I can undergo job training here. I owe her a debt of gratitude.
But really, I would have loved to show everyone yesterday. You did a wonderful job on the stage, Regina, darling.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad all the prisoners came to see it.
Well, about that. Just between you and me, not everyone came to see the show?
That would be Dogan and Sawit, I imagine.
There were 3 people who didn't see your show yesterday. Whoa, who was the third dude? Unbelievable, really.
Excuse me, but did you say there were 3 prisoners who did not see the show?
That's right. I took a count, and there were 3 empty seats. And we even had the correct number of seats set out. Doesn't that seem weird to you, Mr. Edgeworth?
It does. We'd thought that Duggan and Sawwood were the only 2 prisoners who were not present in the courtyard during the show. But that doesn't add up. Where did the 3rd person go? Further investigation is needed.
I was having so much fun talking to you, Regina darling, that I completely forgot. Time to feed my baby! I assume it's the little, the little scarf weasel.
My baby?
Oh, or something in the pond.
Oh dear, shit! Are you gonna feed it the little possum?
It's an alligator! Oh, Ollie, you look as cute as ever.
That's a fox around her neck. I don't freaking know. It certainly looks like a fox, but it could...
Oh, how cute! So her name is Allie?
Yep.
She's Allie the alligator. She's my favorite out of all my family. Oh, lovely. I want to try petting it.
If Regina darling wants to pet it, go right ahead. I'll allow it. Well, good thing you have got such magical powers. You could probably keep it at bay. Yes, they seem pretty excited. We need to go check the person's cells, don't we?
That's right. Let's look for the 3rd prisoner who didn't see the animal show.
Boy, now I'm scared. Who is the 3rd person who didn't see the show? It's probably somebody who has not been accounted for. Someone that we need to know and learn. Simon comes to pet it and bites his hand off. That's probably right. Yeah. Anyway, March 28th, 4:02 p.m. Prison hallway.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I've finally found you, sir!
Sup, dude? Regina, now she has part of you in her. Yes.
Together as one, forever.
Detective Gumshoe, I take it the investigation is running smoothly.
The judge and that prosecutor haven't shown up yet. Oh yeah, I almost got your message, sir.
What was the results of the examination of the victim's cell?
We hit the jackpot, sir! Traces of blood were found on the cell floor. There wasn't a whole lot there, though.
This should prove that the murder occurred in the holding cell.
Indeed, the probability has increased. However, we still cannot say for certain.
I thought you'd say that, sir, so I asked the lab guys to look into it a little further. They're running an analysis on the blood, so we'll know soon if it's the victim's or not.
Way to go, Gummy. Good thinking.
Detective, you've outdone yourself. What caused this sudden foresight?
I'm actually a little hurt you're so surprised by it, sir.
Poor Gumshoe. I hope nothing bad comes of this.
Once we get the results, we can prove that the scene was the holding cell, which leaves finding out how that doggy managed to sneak his way in here.
Just leave that to me, pal. Since that other prosecutor isn't here, we can investigate as much as we want. That's why I brought my secret weapons with me.
Ooh. Metal detector, radio sequence, radio frequencies, bug finding, secret weapons.
That's right, pal. They've gotten us out of a few jams before. Take a gander at Dick Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons.
Looks like he'll come in handy. Want to take up his offer, Miles?
Sure. Detective, please allow us to the use of your secret weapons.
Sure thing, sir. First, I'll give you a rundown. Secret weapon number 1, the trusty metal detector. Perfect for finding all kinds of metallic objects.
As its name implies.
Next, secret weapon number 2, everyone's favorite pal, missile.
Those frickin' derpy eyes.
He can track any scent you want, especially the scent of food.
He's much cuter than Mr. Duggan's dog.
And then secret weapon number 3, it's this.
Isn't that a fishing pole? are you trying to catch?
No, actually, I just brought it by accident.
Never mind that. What's next, Detective?
That's all of them, sir.
What? You call them the 7 secret weapons, but there's only 3 of them?
That's all I have for now, pal. We could use the rest next time. I can't just reveal them all at once. What do you think they call them secret weapons, pal?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll just use the 3 that he's provided.
Alright, which one do you want to use?
Well, what am I currently thinking about trying to... I mean, technically speaking, I could probably just swap them and use each one of them to find one piece of evidence, because I remember this little puzzle. Let's start with the metal detector.
The metal detector, if you please.
The metal detector, sir. I'll sweep the area right away. Metal detector activated.
What happened, Detective?
Sorry about that, sir. Seems the battery's dead.
Shit. Aw, man. Guess we can't use that then.
Looks like the metal detector won't be any help to us. Try another one, sir. Alright, which one do you want to use?
Shit. Fishing pole is the other fluff one. I'm guessing you want me to see every little bit of dialogue. Okay.
The fishing pole, if you please.
The fishing pole, sir?
There's a pond in the prison courtyard. Something important may have fallen in.
Roger that, sir. I'll fish it out right away.
That fishing pole is going to get eaten by an alligator.
Whoa, pal!
What's the matter, Detective Gumshoe?
You got away, sir. I thought I hooked something big, but the line snapped. There has to be a monster fish in there, sir.
It's likely that alligator. I won't tell him that, though.
I guess the fishing pole won't be any more use to us. Try another one, sir. Alright, which one do you want to use?
Okay, I guess we're looking for food.
You want missile, sir? Hey, pal, over here, missile.
Oh, buddy. Ah, there he is.
First, let's decide what scent he should track down.
We are searching for the route Dogen's dog used to get to the detention cell. This route would have also been the same path used to carry the body to the prison.
So if we have him track the scent of the body, that should lead us to the path.
Again, I feel like he's gonna find a hot dog stand instead.
Don't you smell something sweet?
Really? All I can smell is the scent of blood.
It's a very faint scent. It's not like cake or something.
The scent of cake? From the body?
Alright, missile. Get a good whiff of that scent, pal.
And he's off.
Come on, let's follow after him. That way he is.
He's heading towards the special cell. And he's gone straight inside.
Yes. Let's follow him.
Oh dear. Prisoner in today. March 28th, 4:24 p.m. Prison special cell.
This is Dogen's cell, but it looks like he's absent at the moment. Maybe he's being interrogated.
Nah. Maybe he's got his own personal bathroom. I would assume he might be able to do that. What's in here?
Shh! I think he found something.
Oh boy. What has he got?
What could there be in this room?
Mr. Edgeworth, we better take a look. Is that a plate of cookies? Well, first off, a bell. Look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. There's a small chisel here.
I'm not well versed in woodworking, but this seems to be a pocket-sized chisel.
A pocket-sized chisel. Must be convenient to have over one wherever you go.
Is that from a thief's point of view?
No, that's from a great thief's point of view.
She didn't even skip a beat.
I certainly did. Several other chisels and hammers and whatnot up above.
It's the chisels Dogen uses. More than enough for him to murder someone with. Maybe not think about that.
Speaking of chisels, kinda looks like someone used a chisel on your forehead, Mr. Edgeworth.
And what is that supposed to mean?
See, the furrow between your brows getting deeper. It looks just like a carving.
I would leave the subject alone if I were you.
Well, what about cookies?
A teacup and biscuits. I suppose he has his tea time in here too.
Playing chess while drinking tea in his cell. Isn't this going a bit overboard with the special treatment? It's like he gets whatever he wants.
Don't complain to me. You should tell him yourself.
I think I'll pass on that. Still paranoid about ticks. Okay. I mean, I don't know why I'm taking a look at the teacup again. It's literally the exact same info. Nothing. Okay, let's take a look at the chess set.
It's Dogen's chessboard. It still has that hound piece on it.
Oh, the chessboard has legs. Aren't these things expensive?
They can be. This is very good craftsmanship.
Probably built it. Mr. Dogen playing chess is kind of unexpected, you know? I figured he'd be more of a Go player or something like that.
Go? Do you play Go, K?
I'm really good at Go Bang.
But that's not Go.
Woofy woofy woof.
Missile, maybe this is what you're barking at?
Oh dear.
Whoa, hey, knock it off, pal.
Jeez.
Chocolate cake is bad for dogs. If that's how it's gonna be, I'll eat it all myself. Oh, well, that was pretty good.
Yeah, good for you. But it looks like someone else has a problem with that. That wasn't fair, Gummy. I wanted to eat it too. It's not either of yours.
I doubt it's wise to eat food you find lying around in prison. Anyway, I guess Missile was barking at the cake, sir. That was pointless.
Well, I mean, there was a specific thing talking about a sweet thing in the room. Maybe. Is that police dog gonna get the job done?
He's fine, pal. He was just following his stomach instead of his nose. Let's track down the scent of the body for real this time, Missile.
I don't know. I don't really trust this dog.
Oh, looks like he found something else, sir.
Okay, now this cell.
Oh, now it's this cell.
This would be Mr. Elbert's cell. I'd like to examine the interior. Detective, call a guard.
Roger that, sir.
Howdy. Good work, Detective. By the way, is J. Elbert still being held in the disciplinary room?
No, he should have already returned. He was present during the noon roll call. He may have been assigned to work someplace else.
I see. Well then, may we examine the cell?
Yes, sir. Please keep watch. I do not want to get beaten alive by this guy. Yeah, this all seems dangerous. Mr. Edgeworth, how many minutes do you think that hourglass goes for?
Elbert is a former boxer, so I'd say 3 minutes. In a boxing match, each round lasts for 3 minutes.
Bzz, wrong. The correct answer is around 2 minutes. Why? Well, because the glass is cracked and some sand is spilled out.
Semantics!
My headcanon is that Missile is not a police dog and just Gumshoe's pet. That is a pretty good headcanon, I would say.
What? How could I have missed that?
So, would we be able to find sand somewhere? Maybe? Ooh, hello. Okay, well there is the food dishes for said animals. There's a poster of Mr. Elber on the wall. And what's this next to it? Is this his weight loss target?
He was a former boxer. He probably continued with his weight management. Seems he also takes various protein supplements and many illegal steroids. How do you get these in here?
Muscle protein, hustle protein, weight loss protein. Nothing but protein.
Which weight class was he aiming for?
I think he was gunning for the all weight class. Every single one. So yeah, he's got a window, punching bag, tire.
Rocky is written here in messy handwriting. Could this be the bear's toy? This prisoner seems very close to his unusual partner.
Ah, this takes me back. Didn't you play with stuff like this when you were a kid?
No, I don't recall doing that. I didn't have a childhood. It was stolen from me by a goddamn elevator. God damn it!
No. Well then, what did you play when you were younger?
Chess, golf, and the flute, things like that.
Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you have any friends?
Why would you be so concerned about that?
What looks like a trash can. Or something. Oh, it's a heater. Wow, what?
Giving the prisoners a heater is careless. There are too much too lenient in here.
Did this guy use the heater every day?
It was probably for his weight management, since training was his hobby.
Wouldn't his partner Rocky get too hot?
I think their combination is hot enough.
The elevator is when he was 9. That's soon enough to have childhood destroyed.
This sandbag shows signs of repeated use.
Oh, hello. Ah, you want a box too, Missile? No. He seems to really like that boxing thing, though.
Look at him go. Can't be. Detective, move the sandbag at once. Yes, sir.
Blood? Hole? Oh, he's escaped.
A hole? This is... Hey, Missile, come back here!
I'm going to!
Hold it! I'll stop them, sir!
Oh, dear.
It's too tight for me, sir. Detective?
Do you notice the warden is on the drawing? Is on the bag. Oh, interesting. Kind of difficult to tell when everything's all pixels.
It can't be helped. I'll have to wait for her to contact me.
Alright, well, I guess she's on the case. Click.
Hello, Kay. Are you alright?
Don't get so worked up. Right now, I'm in the detention center.
The detention center?
That hole comes out at Knightley's cell!
Really? Stay where you are. I'm coming over there now.
Ooh, the plot thickens. What the hell? Where? What hole and what now? March 28th, 5:04 p.m. Detention center holding cell.
Kay?
Mr. Edgeworth! I really helped out, didn't I?
Indeed. She doesn't appear to be injured.
Right under the bed.
The floorboards have been ripped out from under the bed, sir.
Interesting.
I see. Seems we've found what we were looking for. The passageway between the detention center and prison is blocked by solid doors. However, there was a secret underground tunnel beneath it. We were following a sweet scent and arrived here. That means the scent must have come from Knightley's body.
Very interesting.
Come to think of it, his body was covered in dirt. It may have been caused by passing through the tunnel. Kay, what was the inside of the tunnel like?
It was pitch black, so I really couldn't see much, but I took some photos.
Please, show us.
Oh, that's some nasty shit. Okay. Cup, several plates, several forks. Wow, he's been working on this for a long ass time. Also, oh, that explains how the dog managed to reach this area. Got it.
This is...
Spoons and forks. Were they used to dig the tunnel? But more importantly, what are these footprints?
These footprints... Could they belong to a dog?
Ding, 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 ding.
This will surely be vital evidence. However, before we consider that, we have a big problem.
A problem?
J. Elbert could use this tunnel to move around freely. Detective, confirm his whereabouts post-haste. Perhaps he's...
You may be right, sir. This is a big deal.
After speaking with the guards, the search for J. Elbert was carried out immediately.
Oh. Jailbird. I understand now.
They searched every nook and cranny of the detention center and the prison. But in the end, they found no sign of him.
March 28th, 5:34 p.m., detention center hallway. Did you contact the police? Yes, ma'am. We've already done that. We set up a security perimeter around the prison, ma'am. Right. This is the first scandal in our prison's history.
Oh, we're so sorry.
She's completely different from before.
I didn't get the pun? Nope. Took me for frickin' ever. I guess, like, once he finally escaped, that made it make more sense to me. Mr. Edgeworth, was it? Thank you for finding the escapee's tunnel. But it's a little too late. Mr. Elbert has long since left here.
I don't believe he has gone beyond the detention center. There are security gates located at the exit of the detention center. I believe it would have been difficult to get through those, wouldn't you agree?
Maybe he had another tunnel.
We certainly can't deny that possibility, however.
Anyway, there's no use in you being here now. Please return to your investigation.
Yes, we'll do that.
You guys get back to your posts too! Yes, ma'am! Detective Gumshoe, sir, we've got the results of that blood test you requested.
Good work, pal.
These are the forensic results of the blood stain found in Knightley's cell.
So, what's it say, Mr. Edgeworth?
The blood is confirmed to have been Knightley's.
So we got that going for us. Hey now, that's good news. I found the blood stain in Knightley's cell and discovered the tunnel the dog used. Furthermore, the security camera shows footage of a dog attacking Knightley in a cell.
We have all the evidence we need. It's time we ask Doggin a few questions.
Doggin? Did you say? Please use utmost caution. That man even has henchmen outside of the prison. Arrest them, you bitch!
Outside of the prison? Is this related to his secret trade routes as the supplier?
The police have been searching for Doggin's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but...
So that means back then...
So he still won't talk? Even after all the trouble you went through to get the evidence transferred from the precinct? That's right. I don't know how many times I've tried. I can't report back empty-handed. That assassin sure is one tough cookie, huh?
You had evidence transferred from the precinct?
Yes, we borrowed all the evidence concerning Doggin. I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but... no matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him. Looks like it's time for an ace interrogator to man up and step up.
The warden interrogates him herself? Why go that far?
Lose your focus and he'll eat you alive. Be on your guard. Whoa, you've made Uncle Ray a little nervous.
But I'm a genius, so I can cover this.
March 28th, 5:55 p.m. Prison Special Cell.
Judge Courtney, what are you doing here?
Oh dear.
questioning a prisoner, did you forget that we're investigating as well? Or rather, have you forgotten my warning? If you value your badge, you should not have appeared before me again.
I'm sorry if you thought that I would abide by those words. I won't overlook something important just to heed your warning. I've come for a testimony about the truth of this case, which you have overlooked.
You mean to say you require my humble services?
Not much services, more like open your damn mouth and speak. As I promised, I returned to prove that you are the culprit.
Interesting. Do tell.
Before that, you should first listen to our reasoning. We can say with confidence that Simon Keyes is the culprit. Only Simon Keyes could have moved Mr. Knightley into the prison. And we can show proof of this fact. But first, I'd like to hear your resolve, Prosecutor Edgeworth. If our reasoning is correct, will you submit it to us? Your prosecutor's badge?
You'll deprive him of his badge? Is that a threat, pal?
No, it's not a threat. Rather an act of compassion. Normally, I wouldn't even have taken notice of you since you have no right to investigate. However, if you are able to show proper resolve, I would be willing to let you be my opponent. Are you willing to risk it? Your prosecutor's badge?
Mr. Hedgeworth!
Mr. Edgeworth, sir?
Very well. I trust my own reasoning. But moreover, at the moment, I am currently a defense attorney's assistant first and a prosecutor second. I will not sully the good name of the Edgeworth law offices. I intend to see my job through. I won't yield to your threats.
So be it. Is this bravery or simply foolishness? On the goddess of law's behalf, I shall be the judge of that. Sebastian, allow me to... Yeah, I got it. I'm counting on you, Justine.
Let's crack some eggs!
I presume you know of the incident Mr. Knightley caused the day before yesterday. He attacked a guard and stole his keys. Afterwards, Simon Keyes stopped by his cell with an animal cage from the show. During this time, Mr. Knightley was able to use the stolen key to exit his cell. He then hid in his cage while it was moved to the prison hid in the cage, not his cage, while it was moved to the prison workroom.
So Mr. Keyes went to his cell after all.
After hearing you talk about the security camera yesterday, we investigated it ourselves. Why don't you have a look?
Oh, great.
I have here a printout of the security camera footage.
This is the moment when Mr. Keyes visited Knightley.
Exactly. As you can see, the cage creates a huge blind spot in the cell. By using this blind spot, Mr. Knightley could have entered the cage. That is our reasoning.
A blind spot. That means the camera doesn't actually show him entering the cage. At this time, there's still the possibility that Knightley never left his cell.
But why would he be hiding inside an animal cage? Mr. Knightley was planning to escape from prison. That is the only possibility. A prison escape? That's so cool! Down, K. Down. First Mr. Elbert, now Mr. Knightley. I won't let them show me up.
Kay, this isn't the time to get excited. J. Elbert's escape is no laughing matter.
Simon Keyes was aiding Mr. Knightley in his escape. In other words, he was an accomplice. Not bad, Simon.
Don't praise him!
That cage was transported temporarily to the workroom. Originally, Mr. Knightley was to remain hidden until the end of the animal show. He would then be carried out along with the cage. I presume that was the plan. However, midway through the plan, he was betrayed by Simon Keyes and murdered.
Judge Courtney's reasoning does appear to make sense.
Does it? I don't entirely know why he would kill him. What kind of horrible grudge would Simon have?
However, there must be a hole somewhere. I must not overlook anything.
Well, there's certainly a hole inside that one room. Both rooms. Okay. So, saves. Game time. Oh, wait, no, not new game. No. Head back. Sorry, press down there. So this is just end part 1. Interesting. I presume you know the incident Mr. Knightley caused the day before yesterday.
Judge Courtney, about the incident.
You do not know of it? That would be unbecoming of you, Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth.
Naturally, I know of it. However, thank you.
In that case, this is a waste of time. I shall continue, Mr. Knightley.
Okay, Mr. Knightley. He attacked a guard and stole his keys.
Do you have proof Knightley stole the keys?
It is the only explanation as to why Mr. Knightley would have attacked the guard. We will know for certain the moment the guard regains consciousness.
Is that really true? Should I ask Judge Courtney for more information?
Sure.
There is one point in your reasoning that is odd. If Knightley did indeed steal the key, I'd expect he'd try to escape immediately. Was it really necessary for him to wait for Mr. Keyes to help him escape?
He simply chose the method which the highest probability of success. After stealing the key, he concealed it on his personage. As he waited for the opportune moment, that is what I believe.
He concealed the key. Judge Courtney, such an oversight is unlike you. Knightley could not have concealed the key, and I can prove it. Knightley did not hide the key, and the proof is...
So, conceal key, hey? What's the proof that he couldn't have done the thing? During the attack on the guard, the key to Knightley's cell was stolen. Current location unknown. Alright. No, he couldn't have... I don't think he would have been able to conceal... Knightley did not hide the key. The proof is, would it have to do with the security gate? Would have had to have gone through security gates in order for him to reach the holding cells? Well, no. Technically speaking, he could have hid the key somewhere outside of that area.
Eureka!
Hello. And then there's a stolen uniform thing. Stolen from the detention center. Oh, what would be the... I see, I don't know. It really does not seem like he would have been able to hide it anywhere easily. And the security gates doesn't really prove anything. Yeah, the big sticking point here is that we don't really know where the keys are located. So, at the end of the day, if we knew that they were located in the prison, then yeah, he could not have hidden it. This is the best game in the series. It's pretty good so far. There's a couple of spots here and there where I'm sitting there going, why was this not ported to the West? Why? But, you know, whatever. I think... Let me think about this. No, the bracelet... I don't think the bracelet... Natalie did not hide the key, and the proof is... Piracy. Nope, I'm not a big fan of pirating. I actually mentioned this at the very beginning before I even did this stream. I have a physical copy of the game. And I have the ROM, and I have patched it. So, not a big advocate of piracy, honestly. I don't know why Capcom didn't... wait. Yeah, I don't know why Capcom decided they wouldn't have released this game and translated it in the West. No, piracy does not stop games from being ported to the West. I mean, there are plenty of fan translations of other Japanese games that have gotten translations nowadays. They could be making money off this game anytime they wanted. At the end of the day. I don't know. They're kind of sitting on a gold mine here. I would like this game to come out, and I would definitely buy it if they just released it digitally. Knightley did not... Okay, wait a minute. Maybe this has something to do with the fact that... No, because if he hid the key, then there's... Why would he have it on him? Yeah. Original Ace Attorney was... Ace Attorney Investigations was pirated higher than any Ace Attorney game. You know... That might... I guess that might be true. Maybe. If those facts are right. I don't know if it's a genuine reason to not sell the game. I think nowadays it's a lot easier to sell something digitally, so at this stage of things, it would make sense for them to re-release it digitally. Maybe like back in the day, I could see them having no reason to port it, but now they have avenues. I kind of want to see maybe Ace Attorney Investigations package or something. Like an HD upgrade to the entire series. Like, that'd be fun. And those games are only digital due to this past. This is why the sequel was never ported. Meh. I think nowadays, now that piracy is less of a problem, and more people are a lot more interested in picking up games digitally now, I think it would be a good chance for them to release the game. That's all I'm saying. Hello, Coverfist. Hello. Why buy when you can play on a PC? Because I support Capcom. That's why. Okay. Let me get back to thinking about this. Knightley didn't hide the key. Could I use this as proof just because the chessboard would have a place to hide things, and if he was going to hide it anywhere, it would be the chessboard? Judge Courtney, don't you have a problem with that statement just now? Should I have a problem with it? Exactly, because there's no problem at all. In that case, you should have refrained from speaking in the first place. Oops. I don't think that left a good impression. E3 Games, you're still waiting for another Ace Attorney game. I'm sitting on it. I don't know if they would make an announcement. I don't know. I guess we'll wait for either they're going to make a third-party announcement or... I don't know. There's a lot of developers that are doing live... Are they planning on doing any kind of live stream event for E3? That's starting to get really popular. A lot of people aren't even going to the E3 floors to announce anything. They just do a live stream and go, hey, look, we got a game. Oh yeah, I heard about the anti-piracy measure. The one that makes all the language Borginian. Yes. See, that's a creative way to fight piracy. Okay. So, is there anything... I don't know if... Attack guard stole keys. Stop by cell animal cage. There's a part of me that kind of feels like that's not the right answer, and maybe I'm gunning for the wrong thing. Let me take a look at some of the other bits. Do you have proof Knightley stole the keys? It is the only explanation as to why Mr. Knightley would have attacked the guard. We will know for certain the moment the guard regains consciousness. Is that really true? Should I ask Judge Courtney for more information? Oh, interesting. So, they're going to ask for more information on every single thing. Another anti-piracy thing for Case 1 is it refused to save. That one's more boring. Say, wait a minute, wasn't there a piece of proof that directly said prison investigation, searched the entire prison but did not find the murder weapon? If they searched the entire prison and didn't find a murder weapon, couldn't they have also tried to find keys as well? You think that might work as an explanation for the first one? Oopsies. I guess I'm reading this.
So Mr. Key's actions were intended to help Knightley escape from prison?
Yes, he stopped by the detention center's holding cells with the cage. This is Simon Key's own testimony. It can't be denied.
His visit to Knightley's cell ended up drawing suspicion, as one would imagine.
Simon was just clumsy. His clumsiness led to him bringing the cage to the detention center. Or he brought the cage to help Mr. Knightley escape. Which explanation do you think is more natural? I see you understand. Simon Keyes carried the cage to the detention... Right. Turn my thinking around. Not why he couldn't conceal the key, but proof he didn't conceal it. Good point. Subvert the thoughts. Why couldn't he have hidden it? Well, if he had the could that have something to do with him dying? I guess that's kind of my first thought. Let's see. Not why he couldn't conceal the key, but proof that he didn't. There's a person roll call. No, that's probably nothing. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it's just like, oh, hey. No friggin' way he was able to do that. Because usually, there's a lot of things in Ace Attorney games, there's a lot of times where I'll look at a piece of evidence and go, how the hell would that work? And then it turns out that's exactly the right thing. A certain piece of evidence proves he doesn't have the key. Find that and I can shove it in her face. Well. Here. Let me head back over here. Press. Overruled! Oh shit, hold up. Attack the guard with the stole keys. Let's try and prove this one. Is that really true? Ask for more information, please. If Knightley did indeed steal the key, I'd expect he'd try to escape immediately. Concealed the key? Judge Courtney, such an oversight is unlike you. Knightley could not have concealed the key, and I can prove it. Well, the first thing I can kind of think about when it comes to this is... would he have needed those prison keys once he was inside the holding room? Let me see. Judge Courtney, contradiction in the testimony. No, this is wrong. It's obvious you're bluffing. Oh, shit. Okay, no. I think I'm still thinking about this wrong. Here. So, again, could not have concealed the key. He could not have done it. I'm on the right statement. There's good news. It's because of the chess. I just need the right evidence. I really don't know if it would have to do with the security gate, because that doesn't necessarily prove that he couldn't have hit it somehow. Does it have something to do with the attack or something to that degree? I don't know. Check the information on the keys. Okay. During the attack on the guard, the key to Knightley's cell was stolen.
The current location is unknown. Stolen from a locker in the detention center hallway on March 26th. And... Wait. When did this event take place, then? That was kind of my first thought here. If he had the keys, why would it say the location is Oh, maybe I'm not seeing this from the right perspective. Is it literally just proof? Is the keys literally just the proof? Like, are we trying to prove here that we have not found the keys and therefore we can't say for certain whether or not he stole them or not? We don't know if they're hidden. Oh, shit. That's exactly what we're saying, isn't it? Haven't the guards informed you yet? They searched Knightley after he attacked the guard, and the key was nowhere to be found. Since the key's location is unknown, your logic doesn't hold. The rebuttals in this game are some of the best. Yeah, I've seen quite a few. That's one of the cool things about Phoenix, right? And just like Ace Attorney games in general, is that some of the rebuttals are harsh as hell. That is not an issue. There is an explanation. Mr. Knightley had the key. It simply wasn't found. The reason being, he concealed it inside the chessboard. The chessboard? You mean the one that concealed the murder weapon? Come now. How do we know whether or not the murder weapon was really there? What? Take some responsibility for your own words. That was all Sebastian's idea, after all. So those two don't always agree on their reasoning. I would say no. Mostly because the best is completely out of his mind. Those ones are also some of the hardest. Yeah. I'll say, I'm not a giant... Well, I really like the Ace Attorney games because their logic is so off the wall. But I'm also not a fan that it is so off the wall, if you know what I mean. Because you have to really stop and think, what's the game thinking about right now? It's like, what do you want me to think about right here? In other words, once we put all the pieces together, Mr. Knightley's concealed the key he stole from the guard inside the chessboard. When Simon Keyes arrived, Mr. Knightley used the key to slip out of his cell. He entered the animal cage and was transported to the workroom, all thanks to his accomplice, Simon Keyes. Mr. Knightley had planned to be carried outside after the show had ended. However, he was betrayed by his accomplice and murdered during the circus performance.
Mr. Keyes performed in the show. He would have had no opportunity to murder him during the circus performance.
No opportunity? Is that so? A story plays itself out on the stage. And such was the case with the animal show.
So she examined the content of the show.
Is there like a trapdoor scene somewhere? Come to think of it, oh shit, there is a point in time where he probably wouldn't have been on stage. Crap. Yeah, don't worry, that statement doesn't really spoil much of anything. After this next case, I'll see some of the most convoluted murders. I mean, I expected that from Ace Attorney, that's for sure. We know murders happen in Ace Attorney's games. It's always a murder. Just once, I want to see, you know, like, we're trying to pull together some kind of a story about, I don't know, like a convenience store robbery. The suspect plays the role of the villain who antagonizes the elephant heroine. In the final act, the villain is defeated by the heroine's love and all ends well. At that point, the suspect, in the role of the villain, is blown away by the heroine's burning love and makes his exit. Blown away.
Like, blown away by the elephant?
I thought we'd just be dealing with tax fraud.
Me too.
Was he hurt?
After being blown away, the suspect had disappeared from the stage. The suspect was absent from the stage for about 15 minutes.
Are you saying the crime was committed during that time?
Even in such a short period of time, it would still be possible to carry out the murder. Don't you think so?
I can't object much to that, but okay. Miles.
So he committed the crime in 15 minutes and then returned to the stage. That may have been possible if the crime scene had been the prison. Judge Courtney, the actual crime took place in the detention center.
Oh, right.
I'm afraid I cannot accept that camera footage alone as evidence.
Well, now we have more evidence, so screw you.
As for evidence, I have it.
Well then, please show us your evidence. Where is the evidence that shows the secret? Oh, the scene of the crime was the detention center.
A hole, madam.
What is this?
This is the evidence that proves the scene of the crime was the detention center.
I do not understand.
Me too. Uncle Ray too.
And me!
It seems I was mistaken.
Oh, shit. Aren't you gonna show Courtney that detention center was the crime scene?
Why don't we show her what we discovered in Mr. Knightley's cell?
Indeed. I just jumped a little. I jumped the gun. Whoopsies. Judge Courtney, will you allow me to present another piece of evidence?
Very well. Go ahead and present it. Where is the evidence that shows the scene of the crime was the detention center?
Right, okay. The actual scene of the crime. Okay. Yes. Blood stains were wiped away inside the victim's cell. The blood stains belonged to Knightley. This is the proof.
Right.
Sorry, I accidentally pulled out my final card out of completely nowhere.
This is
the floor. Yes. Stare at it. Look at it. Envision a body on the floor.
Oh, goddess of law, I'm unable to comprehend your mysterious ways. Offline. What? Oh, shit. Okay, I am going to BRB, and I'm going to try and fix this. Hold up. Oh, goddess of law, I am unable to comprehend your mysterious ways.
This is what we discovered. The area here was tested positive for Mr. Knightley's blood.
Wow, actually knocked the wind directly into her sails.
This blood test, can it really be trusted? To begin with, how were you able to conduct a scientific investigation?
We didn't.
I happen to have a subordinate. I can't vouch for his competence, but he is a man that I trust. Well then.
That detective? This concerns me. I cannot think why one would disturb the order of law. The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee's influence goes on far as the police department.
As far, rather.
Gummy's in trouble! Forgive me, Detective. I'm afraid something bad may come of this.
I will accept the fact that blood was found at the detention center as evidence. However... What? How ridiculous! This is unthinkable of you, you third-rate prosecutor!
Mr. DeBest, you're here?
I'd completely forgotten about him. He's kind of a weenie, just sits in the corner.
There's a giant contradiction in your statement. According to the security tape, a dog killed Knightley in his cell. Then, after he left the cell, the blood on the floor was wiped away. Did the dog wipe away the blood stains? As if that could happen.
You smug bastard.
That is possible. Of my Anubis, right, boy?
What?
That dog was one of the... Oh, that was one of the tricks I taught him while I was still in the outside world. He makes sure to hide any bloodstains he makes. So as not to leave behind any evidence.
I was saved, if only by chance.
Shouldn't you have taught your dog to shake or something?
Anubis also performs that trick very well. But the shake I taught him is a little different from others.
Oh, good God.
First, he bites the victim's hand.
Stop! 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 I don't want to hear anymore! I see. I understand, Prosecutor Edgeworth. It appears you've gathered a good hand.
I'm glad you understand.
My argument isn't over yet! Yes, it is. Objection overruled. Hey, now, that's a little harsh. Sebastian, would you allow me the privilege of explaining? Sure, Justine.
Do you finally realize? The murder occurred in the detention center. Therefore, that assassin's pet dog... damn it.
My opinion has not changed. Unless I can understand how the dog was able to enter and leave the crime scene, here we are. I'm afraid I cannot accept your logic, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
I've been waiting for you to say that. Now, let me show you. This evidence shows the route the dog used to go between the detention center and the prison.
Unless it's a trap. This might be a trap. Screw it. This photo.
It shows a secret tunnel hidden in the prison.
That's impossible! A secret tunnel! Secret tunnel.
This tunnel was dug by the escaped prisoner J. Elbert. It begins in his prison cell, and it connects to a holding cell in the detention center. Namely, the victim's cell.
I love Sebastian. I love to hate him. I've said this before. I don't know. Is this the way people feel about Joffrey? I know about Joffrey. I didn't really watch Game of Thrones, but I know what Joffrey is. I'm shocked. How did this...
Dogen, you must have known of this, since you used this tunnel to commit murder.
Jace. In the name of the goddess of law, I hereby reject Prosecutor Edgeworth's claim.
What do you mean?
Evidence is everything. That remains true here, just as in the courtroom. Isn't that right? I have evidence here. Horace Knightley's autopsy report.
Autopsy report? Yeah, we kind of forgot about that one.
Since when?
Why are you surprised?
This was delivered straight from the police a short while ago. It's not complete yet. More of a preliminary report. Here, the very word of the goddess of law is written. Cause of death, stab wound to the neck, died instantly. Murder weapon, sharp metal object. Forged! I call forged! The victim was stabbed multiple times in the same spot with a sharp object. Take a shot for every mention of the goddess of law. No, I feel like I would at least be completely shit-faced by the end of the stream. Although they were unable to determine the actual shape of the murder weapon, they have clear proof that it was a sharp metal object. So, do you still stand by your claim? That a dog used a sharp object to kill the victim? This can't be! Fine, take a sip of beer. That's more like it. That is all. The court is adjourned.
But wait! The tunnel contains the dog's footprints. Perhaps it may have been one of Anubis's walking courses. I can never tell what Anubis gets up to outside my cell. Something feels unnatural about all this, but I have no evidence.
Courtney Pie, you sure pulled out a hidden gem at the very last moment.
She waited for the perfect time to reveal the autopsy report. Have I let her out with me again? Yes.
Appointed Attorney Shields. Here's the autopsy report from earlier. I apologize for the delay.
No, it's alright. Thank you. Awkward. Oh no, censored word. I gladly accept it.
Mr. Shields, I don't believe it's necessary to hold hands while exchanging documents.
I advise you to stop. Stop trying to hug me, you sicko. I
Persists any longer, and I shall call on the strength of the Goddess of Law. I'll be careful. Justine, well done. Just as I planned.
Sit down, you 12-year-old.
I only acted in accordance to your instructions.
Yeah, please. We know who the actual brains and balls and probably tackle of this relationship is.
The autopsy report came straight from the police. I can't refute it. However, if the murder weapon wasn't the dog, Doggen will be cleared of suspicion.
The merciful Goddess of Law so decrees. If you choose to yield now, your badge will not be taken.
What will you do, sir? She says that, but...
My answer remains the same. Judge Courtney, it is as I said before. I will see my job through. I will not yield to threats.
So even now, you still refuse to give up. If you want to keep your badge, this may be your last chance.
Right now, I am a defense attorney's assistant. What I protect is not my badge, but my client.
The Goddess of Law grows weary of your sentiment.
Well, jeez. Now we're talking. Miles is starting to understand that a defense attorney never gives up. Actually, those were the words of the old man. Are there any words that my old man didn't say? Okay, you sent me a dog that could 100% use a sharp metal object. Did you? Well, that is some anime I do not understand. I don't recognize that, damn it. Really wish I did. Well, just from the art style. Nope, I got nothing. My knowledge of anime kind of stops at, like, Pokemon, the really early Digimon. I think I saw a few episodes of Sailor Moon. That's about it. That's an intimidating dog, though. That's Rapide. Oh, he's a playable character in Tales of Vesperia. Okay, alright. Oh, I never played the Tales series. Here, let me close that so I can still look at the preview of the stream. There we go. My father. Really is in your blood. You're the splitting image of him right now. You said it yourself. You have changed since you were tainted by Von Karma. It's only now that I've actually come to believe it.
Mr. Shields.
Well then, Miles. Now's the time to put those skills to the test. Think beyond your limits. If the murder weapon was a sharp object, does that really negate your reasoning?
The murder weapon was a sharp object.
That's it!
There were 5 chisels placed inside this special cell. Doggen is a former assassin. It's quite possible he could kill someone with just a chisel. In that case, the weapon that killed Horace Knightley was...
Is that all? Oh, okay.
Evidence is everything. Didn't you say? The murder weapon was a sharp metal object. However, such a weapon has yet to be found.
What? So what are you trying to say?
The only decisive evidence is the actual murder weapon itself. And that was in plain sight the whole time. The real murder weapon is... Doggen's chisel!
What did you say?
Take responsibility for your own statements. The scene of the crime was Mr. Knightley's cell. You said so yourself.
If the evidence changes, then so will my logic. That too is courtroom procedure, is it not? If the chisel was used, that means the killer was human. However, the fact remains that we cannot deny the security photo.
Yeah, what about that photo?
I'll give you the answer. This photo shows the moment.
The dog killed the victim. The dog leapt at the victim. Someone attacked the dog. The dog leapt at him.
Duggan's dog leapt at Knightley. However, the victim did not die at that time.
Didn't die?
He was only knocked unconscious. The dog didn't move a dead body. It moved the unconscious Knightley. And the real killer was its owner.
Ah, I see. If the victim was moved, it would have been possible for Dogan to commit the murder. And use the murder weapon!
Indeed, the killer is Shirhan Dogan! It can only be you!
Calm as ever.
I bet your teacher used to write on your report card. Needs to pay more attention on what others say.
Of course you bring up report cards. You just recently got out of high school. Either that or you're still in it.
I would think that describes you more.
We examined that room, every crook and granny. Right, Justine?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We examined all 4 of Mr. Dogan's chisels and found no traces of blood.
Thank you, Judge Courtney. Thanks to you, I am now certain.
Thanks to me? Whatever do you mean?
When I came here earlier, I saw 5 chisels.
That's right. There were definitely 5 there before.
So the one that disappeared was...
The smallest one, presumably for portable use. Dogan, where is that chisel?
I'm not free to leave this place. I've no need of a portable chisel.
Not free to leave? In that case, he mustn't have been free to hide the deadly chisel either.
So where... oh god, somebody cavity search him.
Dogan, you just dug your own grave.
It seems you know something. Would you care to show it?
Dogan couldn't leave, so the place he hid the chisel is, inside the special cell.
Dogan is a prisoner, so he can't leave his cell freely. Perhaps he could have sent his dog out to dispose of it. But he would not have been able to confirm the weapon's location.
So what does that leave?
Above all else, special metal tools are allowed in this cell. Even if one chisel were to appear here, no one would suspect a thing. You'd be a fool not to take advantage of that.
I see, of course. It's always safest if you do something yourself.
But I examined everything. I didn't find any hiding places in his cell.
I am certain that the murder weapon is here. The reason you haven't found it is because it was cleverly hidden.
You say I hid it? Where exactly?
Think. Where could he have hidden it? I have to remember everything up to this point. There must be some clue.
Does this mean what I think it means? Let's get going, Mr. Edgeworth. Doge.
Come to think of it, that dog hasn't barked at me once today. Previously, when I came to the special cell, it barked on Dogan's command. That's it! That's what's been out of place. There's just one place he could have hidden the murder weapon.
Given up already? How dull, how dull.
No, it's your chisels that are dull. I will present evidence.
This piece of oh my god. This is going to be taken way out of context, but the piece of evidence shows where you concealed the murder weapon. It's inside the dog. Hasn't your dog been awfully quiet today?
Now that you mention it, it hasn't barked at all.
Saren Dogan, open that dog's mouth now.
Anubis doesn't bark needlessly. I ordered him to do that before. In that case, order it to bark now.
Naturally, you should be able to, if you have nothing to hide.
It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth.
Yep.
As you can see, a dog of this size can easily conceal a small chisel.
What? Why a chisel? The dog really had one in its mouth?
I thought he was unusually quiet. Was he unable to follow the discussion?
Nope.
Sebastian, could you call the forensics department? Urgently, please.
I got it.
You poor fool.
Uh-oh. Reaction. This chisel tests positive for blood. What? Shock among shocks.
I guess that proves my theory wasn't just nonsense.
Will this chisel be the murder weapon then?
It reacted positively for blood. There is no doubt about that.
Well, does it match up with the wounds? That's the question.
Mr. Sirhan Dogan, now that the murder weapon has been found, I must ask you for your testimony.
We know how your dog got to the detention center, and we found the murder weapon. Do you still think you can talk your way out of this?
Interesting. This guy! Even at a time like this, he's still smiling. Smiling till the end. Until we boot them directly in the crotch. Well, Anubis, it seems everyone has been suspicious of you. It's quite troubling, but since it has come to this, we'll have no choice but to tell the truth. I did not kill anyone. I've long since grown weary of killing.
What's this? His face looks completely composed.
Seems we'll need to listen to Mr. Dogan's explanation. Please, promptly, give your testimony.
Certainly. Let's see what this bullshit is. First of all, I would like you to explain my motive. I would like to explain my motive, rather. I do not know anyone by the name of Knightley. We share no connection. So, I wouldn't think some motive for murder would just appear out of nowhere. Or are you insinuating my Anubis had a motive? He only bears his fangs at others on my command. I do not hunger for blood so much as to kill a man I do not even know.
Coming from an assassin, it sure is persuasive.
An assassin who only kills acquaintances? I doubt that would be profitable.
I may kill strangers in my line of work, but I never make it personal.
Is there evidence that shows a connection between Knightley and Dogan?
Yeah, they play chess.
I should thoroughly review the evidence once more.
Though I don't know if that's going to be a good enough reason for me to be able to actually, pin him on anything. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. First of all, I would like you to explain my motive. There.
You cannot kill without a motive. Hardly what I'd expect an assassin to say.
I don't spill blood needlessly. May be required for my job, but not in my personal affairs. They're a little different. Isn't that right, Anubis? Oh, good boy. Good boy. I do not know anyone by the name of Knightley. We share no connection. No. Bullshit. I know I'm supposed to present on this, but I'm just going to keep going.
You didn't know Knightley? It's not like you to say something like that.
You overestimate me considerably. Did you have such a hard time arresting me in the past?
We've already looked into it. You are the prison's supplier. Naturally, you would have known about the other prisoners. Hearing one thing and knowing 10 is just an ideal. It's true, I do hear things. However, that doesn't mean that I know everything. I've never heard of anyone named Knightley. So I wouldn't think some motive for murder would just appear out of nowhere. You are an assassin. You do not require a motive to kill. I mean, yeah, money. Assassins tend to do this shit for money. Your reasons. Hey, Anubis, what do you think of this man? Is he an idiot? A fool? Possibly even a genius? You could drop the act, answer the question. But first, consider this. Who am I? Before your eyes, you see the man you arrested yourself. The assassin, Sirhan Dogan. For those I have needlessly killed, I chant a prayer. Or are you insinuating my Anubis had a motive? The dog probably did not have a motive. However, it has been trained to kill. Anubis, how could this man say such a thing? You poor thing. The dog isn't you. He could have mistaken his target. In that case, wouldn't police dogs be equally untrustworthy? If you still mean to suspect Anubis, then you'll have to show me this evidence you're so fond of. I don't have that kind of evidence. Damn it. I can't nail this dog down. Shit. He only bears his fangs and others on my command. Then perhaps you ordered him to kill Knightley. Aren't we impatient? Haven't you forgotten the first thing I said? I don't know anyone called Knightley. Although you still insist I do, I'm afraid there's no evidence. Don't you think so too, Anubis? Good boy, good boy. Arr. Did the dog kill him or did Dogan? If Dogan did not have the motive to kill, then he could not have murdered Knightley. First, I should show proof of some connection between Dogan and Knightley. Oh, this one's real easy. I would like to explain my motive. Do not know anyone by the name of Knightley. Right. Let's go ahead and take a gander at Knightley's memo, shall us? Position of the pieces match the chessboard in Dogan's special cell. Don't know my ass. You've lost your touch, Shirin Dogan. If you had your dog clean up after you, you should have disposed of this too. This is a record of a correspondence chess game found in the victim's cell. This record and the chessboard in your cell both clearly depict the same game. Unless he moved the pieces. What? I've heard that the number of possible chess positions is around 10... Oh, dear God. 10,120... 10 times 10 times 120 times. 100, 1,000... Is that even a real number? Indeed. There's absolutely no way these two could have coincided by chance. Tell us your reason for killing Knightley. Unless you intend to explain this as a coincidence. Well, don't they say that the truth is stranger than fiction? It is as you said. This is merely a coincidence. But there's no way that could have been that could have happened. Oh, he'll parrot this until the ends of the earth, I'm sure. My correspondence chess opponent was the victim in this incident. What a horrible coincidence. Aren't you shocked too, Anubis? Aren't you shocked, boy? The animal show or something? That was when everyone left. Anubis brought the body to my cell. He had already been stabbed in the neck with the murder weapon. I did not wish to be suspected, so I had Anubis carry the body to the workroom. After that, he pulled out the murder weapon and returned to me. So you're saying the one who pulled the weapon out was Anubis? That's right. If I pulled out the murder weapon here, the blood would have been a problem. Mr. Edgeworth,
Isn't this what that saw it guy said?
A large black dog was biting into the neck of the victim.
What did you say?
It was a truly hellish scene. That dog killed him.
Not quite.
I see. So that means Sawit witnessed the moment the murder weapon was pulled out.
Oh, yes, that prisoner's testimony. Surprised me when I first heard it. It's not often that Anubis makes a blunder like that. Right, boy? Oh. Now, I believe that explains my actions. I did not kill him. All I did was remove the murder weapon. Now, let that be all. Anubis is getting tired. Can you be charged for that? I have no idea. I don't know the extent of the law, but I got this weird suspicion that you could get in trouble for meddling at all with the murder weapon.
Objection.
Whoa there. Just a moment, Mr. Dogan.
Mr. Shields?
Isn't there one thing you haven't explained? Why would you need to pull out the murder weapon in the first place?
That's right. I understand why he'd moved the body to dry suspicion away from him, but he didn't need to retrieve the murder weapon.
I thought I'm just a fool, but how quickly his scent has changed.
Care to elaborate, Mr. Dogan?
He's already in jail. Hey, he could get into even worse trouble. Lengthened sentence. Where? Just because you're in jail doesn't mean that you are completely, devoid of anything in relation to law. It was because of this bell. The bell attached to the murder weapon, and the bell on my dog's neck. They share a distinctive shape, wouldn't you say?
The assassin Sirhan Dogan's trademark.
An assassin's trademark?
The blind assassin, Sirhan Dogan. He always appears at the sound of a bell.
A distinctive bell. Weird.
The sound of a bell ringing in the dark of night is said to be the last thing his target hears.
You remember well. It has been a while since you last saw my bells, after all.
When I prosecuted you in court, I confiscated the knife with the bell attached to it.
Yes, my bells. There are only 2 in the world. Only 2? They're custom made, attached to my knife and Anubis's collar. Even though I can only rely on my ears, I can easily identify them. Alas, one has been confiscated and is not in my possession. I see. When Anubis brought the body here, I heard a familiar sound. I thought my knife must have been embedded in the body. So imagine my confusion when I found out that it was merely a chisel with my bell attached. That must have been terrifying to attempt to try and test that out, just being like, okay, is this a... I mean, I guess when you're blind and you're working with all your other senses for long enough, all of those other ones are probably heightened. So you probably don't need to be running your hand along the blade. Still a little bit iffy.
Indeed, your knife is nothing like this chisel.
Either way, those bells are my trademark. Moreover, I'm the only one in the prison who uses chisels. With all this, I knew I would be falsely suspected. So I removed the murder weapon and hid it.
So you're claiming that you only moved the body?
Didn't I tell you? That chisel isn't mine. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check for my fingerprints.
Sebastian! Me? But how do I check for...
Forensics.
Yes, ma'am! Reaction! We have fingerprints. They're Knightley's, Justine.
What about Dogan's?
Nope. Just Knightley's. And there's no evidence of prints being wiped either.
So Knightley had a chisel?
Only Knightley's fingerprints? It can't be.
Should we re-examine it?
No! You got the answer you want, you little idiot!
See now? I never even touched that chisel, because I ordered Anubis to carry it in its mouth. In other words, the fingerprints belong to the chisel's original owner. The murder weapon's owner was the victim? Oh, this is perplexing. At any rate, I did not touch the murder weapon. In other words, the killer could not have been me. Isn't that right?
God, I have nothing to refute that. How could this... Is he really not the killer? Could Dogen's testimony actually be true? This can't be!
It seems this is sufficient enough not to warrant any further explanation. As it stands, you have not changed the state of this case. I believe this is more than enough reason for us to relieve you of your badge. To save any needless fuss, I'd suggest you hand over your badge now.
This is bad, sir. They sound serious.
It's regrettable, but with those prints as decisive evidence, I'll have to rethink my logic from step one.
But there are still many unexplained things. Why would Mr. Knightley be carrying a chisel?
It could be used for many things. Perhaps even prison escapes.
Well then, how did he carry it into the prison? I mean, the prisoners aren't even allowed cutlery. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth is thinking. Let him think. He's good at that. Even if your reasoning is off at first, you shouldn't let that confuse you. The most important thing is to arrive at the truth. Isn't that right? It doesn't matter how you get there. The end result is to save Simon. We have to do everything we can for his sake.
Well said, Kay.
I got a theory. Nice one, Kay. I really want to scout you for the law firm now. Remember when Uncle Ray said, a defense attorney never gives up. Miles, do you understand the true meaning behind those words?
The true meaning of those words? Turn off the sappy music. What is it?
Defense attorneys carry the fate of their clients on their shoulders. You are the only person your client can rely on. Just like with Mr. Keys, we're the only ones who can save him now. We are linked by fate to our clients. That is why we must never give up. There's no way Uncle Ray can go against the teachings of Gregory. So, what will you do?
Currently, I am a defense attorney's assistant. No, an assistant at my father's firm. I have made a commitment to this case. Therefore, if I don't save my client, I cannot say I've achieved it. I will abide by this to save Simon Keys. No matter how many times my logic fails, I will always find another possibility.
Okay, you're finally back. Well then, let's search for that other possibility. To start with, do you think there was a way Mr. Knightley could have brought the chisel into the prison?
The method Knightley used to bring the chisel into the prison was,
I think, it was absolutely the chessboard.
Normally, metal objects can't be brought into the detention center or the prison.
They'd just be caught by the security gate.
However, there is one way to avoid this, and that is if they're sent in a package to the detention center.
That gate is only used on people. In other words, packages sent to the detention center undergo a simpler check.
So they don't use a metal detector for that?
This never should have happened. Seems the guards were too careless.
Knowing this, Knightley asked Simon to send him a package. Namely, a chessboard containing the chisel.
Well, this has solved one of our problems. The fact that the chisel was not Mr. Dogen's, but Mr. Knightley's.
Given this, one major issue remains. The security camera shows a dog attacking the victim. As long as that exists, I will maintain that Dogen is the killer.
But Dogen never touched the murder weapon. I'm stumped.
We also desire a conclusion to this matter.
Mr. Edgeworth, we can use one of my secret weapons, sir. Secret weapon number 4. The video analyzing machine, Mr. Analysis.
Where the hell did you get that?
What's with that ridiculous name? I named it myself, sir. This will let us analyze video footage in detail.
Go ahead. You'll soon see I'm not lying. I don't know what will come of this, but all we can do now is investigate.
Mr. Edgeworth, do you know how to use Mr. Analysis?
A video analysis machine. Should I hear how to use it? I've never used it before. I feel like I probably could. Screw it. Detective Gumshoe, could you show me how to use it?
Of course, sir. Fundamentally, it's the same as investigating the crime scene. You just examine anything that piques your curiosity. To examine, I just press the X button. Now, I'd like you to look at the buttons below the monitor.
The left and right buttons will rewind and fast forward respectively.
And the center button lets you pause the video. Let's make a good use of it to advance our investigation, sir.
To rewind and fast forward, I use the Y and A buttons.
And the pause, I use the... to pause, I use the B button. While paused, you can go to the previous frame or the next frame. You just use the same left and right buttons as before, sir. Next, I'll explain how to use the zoom.
I feel like I could probably have figured this one out, but I guess it's nice to hear.
Just point the cursor at the area you want to zoom in on and press the button on the upper left of Mr. Analysis. The one that says Zoom Plus.
Seems I can also use L button to zoom in.
And after you've zoomed in, you can examine it just like you would the original image. Use the previous frame and next frame buttons to examine frame by frame. But you can't actually play back the video in this mode, so keep that in mind.
And what should I do if I want to zoom out?
Just press the top left button on Mr. Analysis again, sir. Now, it should say zoom minus. And that concludes the explanation, sir. Well then, let's turn on Mr. Analysis. Use Mr. Analysis to examine any suspicious part of the video, sir.
This is the video from the detention center's camera. I believe this was the moment when Knightley was being attacked by the dog. If that wasn't the case, then what does it show? Is the person in this video really Knightley? And what is the true form of the black silhouette attacking this person? I should check the video and try to find the answer to these two questions.
Oh dear. There could be unexpected things in unexpected places, so be sure to check every nook and cranny of the video, sir.
I am really good at not resting until I've inspected every single nook and cranny, so I will do exactly that. What part of the video is strange? So the first thing that I sort of made an assumption for was... Here, I'm gonna press zoom. The first thing I kind of assumed was that this mirror was gonna do something weird. So, let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I would like to zoom into this, please. Okay. So I think this is as far this way as I can possibly take it, so frame by frame. I can't really see, like, how many frames we're going through. Maybe I was supposed to, like, wait until we got to the actual murder portion of the scene. It sort of looks like the movie's going through frame by frame, though. Yeah, I have no idea. Let me zoom out. Oh, hello. Wait a minute. Here we go. I see something in the mirror now. Shit. Here, hold the phone. I see something being reflected in this thing. But who? Oh, it looks like a guard's uniform, actually. Weird. Yeah, what exactly is going on here in the first place? Let's play it again. Okay, yep, dog, attack. And then that. So I guess we could go like frame by frame right about now and try and get a glimpse of the dog. Here, let's zoom into... Oh, whoopsies. I didn't actually zoom in there. Here. I kind of want to see if he's got anything in his hand. Here, zoom in. No, it doesn't appear that he has anything in his hands to start with. Zoom out. Oh, gotta love this old-fangled 3D... Well, you know, this technology. Back when this was something advanced. Here. Does that look like a dog? I'm not sure. It's a very, very dark silhouette. Here, let me try and zoom on this part. See if maybe I can catch something. Funny enough, that doesn't look like a dog. That looks like a very, very... Well, actually, it certainly doesn't look like his dog, that's for sure.
This is... I fear we have made a grave miscalculation. This animal, this silhouette, no matter how you look at it, it is not a dog. This animal is a bear.
A cat. A pig. Sort of looks like a bear. But it's definitely as nimble as a cat.
From the silhouette, I'd say the animal is not a dog, but a bear.
So then, in that photo I took,
Those footprints must have belonged to this bear, yes. Did you say a bear? Yes. That man is the first to come to mind. Now that we know this black shadow isn't a dog but a bear, there's a good possibility that the man being attacked is not Knightley. Whatever can show that this man isn't Knightley should be somewhere in the video, wouldn't it, sir? Since his face is not visible, it would be difficult to get direct confirmation. However, perhaps there is something indirectly reflected. Something reflected. Nice hint, game. Hey, isn't there a mirror in the cell? Yeah. Just like nudge, nudge. Hey!
I mean, right from the get-go, when I saw that that mirror was there and the fact that a camera could be seen, like, the first thing I thought was, hey, so that thing could obviously reflect something that was looking in the mirror at the camera, right? So, let's try and just skip a few frames here. And eventually we'll have him tumble backward. Come on, buddy. Stop struggling with the thing. I don't really want to, like, unpause it at this stage because I feel like I'm going to miss the opportunity. Oh. Ah, yes, that's clearly a guard's uniform. Here, let's give that a shot. Ah, excuse me. A reflection of this person can be seen in the mirror. Is that a cap on his head? Actually, it looks kind of like the caps the prison guards wear, sir. You don't think it was a guard who was attacked? Have you received a report of any guard being attacked by an animal? No, not that I've heard, sir. Then it was someone else wearing a guard's uniform. I see. I have evidence that shows what this cap is. It is It is that stolen little bit of guff.
There was no report of a guard being attacked by an animal. However, we did hear that a guard's uniform was stolen. Putting two and two together, I'd say this was a disguise for the purpose of a prison escape.
Disguised as a guard? That sounds like it could have been successful, sir. Speaking of prison escapes...
Indeed, that person certainly was successful. We were all under the impression that the person in this video was Knightley.
But it's his cell after all. Why would it be anyone else?
That line of logic no longer holds. Remember the tunnel under his bed? It's possible whoever used this tunnel is the one in this video.
It seems it is time to answer that question. Just who is the person in this video?
The person in this video is...
Mr. Jailbird.
The person wearing the guard's uniform is... the escaped prisoner, J. Elbird. The possibility is extremely high. His pet is a polar bear cub.
But the bear here is black.
We have evidence that can explain this matter. The reason the polar bear became black is...
Yep, so it's mud packs. It's you, the best.
No. Think back to Frank Sawhut's testimony.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Where did the mud of this glove come from?
Oh, that's the mud from my mud packs. At the time, I was practicing applying my mud packs.
Could you tell me where you took the where this took place the day of the incident?
Since the animal show had started, I'd say it was around 9 o'clock a.m. The mud packs turned the animals' bodies pitch black, and my heart was pure white. I was so totally engrossed with covering the animals in mud.
You crazy bastard. During the animal show, Mr. Sawhut was applying mud packs to the animals.
So then, among those animals...
was this polar bear? Yes.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, there is a huge contradiction in your argument. The security camera footage...
Judge Courtney, you are quite right. Sawhut used the mud packs during the animal show. Knowing this, a new contradiction in the video comes to light.
A new contradiction?
Kay, do you know when this footage was taken?
It was after the mud packs were used. That would put it around 9 a.m.
In that case, you should notice something strange about this video.
What's strange about it? Strange thing that contradicts that time. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the thing that is contradicted would have to be the time.
The time Sawhut covered the polar bear in mud was around 9 a.m., which means this video should have also been taken at 9 a.m. However, the timestamp reads 6 a.m. On that day, the prisoners went to the courtyard to watch the animal show. At this time, only 3 people remained behind. Dogan, in the special cell. Sawhut in the workroom, applying his mud packs, like the pervert he is, and the one who put his escape plan in motion at that moment, J. Elbird. Elbird left the polar bear in Sawhut's care and entered the secret tunnel.
Ah, it's adorable.
However, the bear escaped from Sawhut and followed after its owner. And just as he was chasing after the escaped bear, Sawhut happened to witness the dog pulling the murder weapon out of the body. If Sawhut's testimony is correct, this video must have been taken at around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is off by 3 hours.
Why would the timestamp be off like that?
Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to examine the security camera.
Good day, Mr. Shoe.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. I asked all the guards, and, seems the camera's power was cut off for a moment, throwing off the timestamp. What? The camera's an old model, so it loses power, the clock stops as well.
In that case, this means the camera's power was cut for 3 hours.
Why? There's an interesting question. What was happening during the 3 hours?
While I'm at it, I've got some more information for you, sir. You heard that Knightley denied stealing the key, right? Seemed nobody would believe the words of a criminal, but Knightley testified, I was knocked out too.
That may not necessarily be a lie.
Sorry. A little bit more Valley Girl. My, there you all are.
Making progress in your investigation. Can I be of any help?
Actually, Warden Roland, there is something we must report to you. The escaped prisoner, J. Elbert, is most likely still inside the prison. He has disguised himself. Here is the proof. The person visible in the security video is Elbert. So perhaps he's still in this very building?
Dancing guards. Come to think of it, didn't Mr. Albert have a bracelet like the one on the prisoners?
The bracelet would have been concealed under the uniform's sleeves. Moreover, the prison's main gate does not have a sensor to detect bracelets. All he would have to do is avoid any doors with sensors inside the prison.
That's right. So if he didn't enter the cells or the workrooms, could one of you guys be J. Elbert? Oh, and there's a polar bear. Rocky. Uh-oh. Stop it. What are you doing?
It would seem that Rocky has answered that question for us.
No! Rocky, this is all your fault.
The little guy loves you so much. It's enviable.
Right then, seize him at once.
Wait! There's something we must hear from this prisoner. It's necessary if we are to find the truth. I'd like permission to interrogate him.
Understood. What do you want out of me?
Elbert's escape route is linked to Knightley's cell, so it's highly likely he knows something about the crime. I'd like to ask you about the day the body was found.
Oh, whoopee. Crazy eyes. So it was you guys. You were the ones who found my secret tunnel. Took me ages to dig that. The day the body was found was the day I had planned to escape. I was in disguise. Then Rocky followed after me. But he was all covered in mud. I panicked and returned to my cell. Damn! If only you guys hadn't showed up. If only Knightley hadn't died.
You say you dug the tunnel. What did you use to dig it?
No, just hammers and spoons, stuff like that. I bought them from the supplier, but it was all for nothing. No need to lose your temper. There's always next time. Don't think there's going to be a next time. You guys are going to be locked in, like, I don't know, a lead-lined room at this stage.
On the day of the incident, it's possible that Elbert met Knightley while he was alive. I'll have to listen to his testimony carefully.
So it was you guys. You were the ones who fired. So I haven't saved in a while. So, I mean, I'm not, like, really hurting health-wise, but I've gotten stuff wrong. Better safe than sorry, I would say. Still an end to part 1, though. Secret tunnel. You shut up! What's with that hold it, punk? You say you dug... What's it to you? You know how long it took me to dig that? I had to beg the supplier for those tools. Day after day, I slaved away. Give me back my hard work. Give it back, you son of a... I can't get word in edgewise. You can't just go around discovering people's holes. I mean, that could be true on many different walks of life. It took me ages to dig that.
So you dug that hole alone?
You're damn right I did.
Could a tunnel like that really be dug by one person?
Wow, such wasted effort. Kid like you wouldn't understand. Never rely on others, never let others see you. Those are the rules we live by in there. Well, as a great thief, I kind of see where you're coming from.
Okay, don't agree with him.
Ah, no, I was just joking. Well, I wasn't. Damn, why did it come to this? The day the body was found was the day I planned to escape. I was in disguise.
Did you obtain the guard's uniform from the supplier too?
Yeah, that's right. Seems he got it by threatening a guard. That guy went and stole it from someone's locker.
So when you went through the tunnel, you were already dressed like a guard?
No, to ensure that the clothes wouldn't get stained with mud, I carried them with me. Once I got out of the hole and changed clothes, getting out of the cell doors was simple. And that's when Rocky ran up and jumped me.
That must be the moment the security camera captured. I see. Could you add that to your testimony?
Once I got out of the hole and changed clothes, getting out of the cell doors was simple.
Getting out the cell door was simple, you say?
Yeah, compared to going through the tunnel, it was very simple.
You inhabit a prison, yet you seem to know the layout of the detention center quite well.
What's so wrong about that? Sure, I've been to the detention center too.
In that case, he should have known about it from the start. When Knightley was in his cell, the door would have been locked, which means there was one piece of evidence Elbert needed to escape.
Then Rocky followed after me.
When did you first realize he was following you?
When I got out of the tunnel, just when I thought I'd pulled it off. Damn!
Didn't you notice anything when you entered the tunnel?
He wasn't there at the time. I knew he would follow me if he was around. This is my chance, I thought. Just my luck. Damn it. Such harsh words. Poor Rocky. I can't help it. Today was his fault too. Just like yesterday, always clinging on to me. But he was all covered in mud. I panicked and returned to my cell.
You didn't consider just making a run for it?
I would have if I could, but the mud would have given me away. It's not like I'd get another chance like this. So I had to proceed with caution.
In the end, he was exposed by his own bear. It's possible that Elbert met Knightley before he died. I should listen to his testimony carefully and review the evidence.
Okay. So, the day the body was found was the day I'd planned to escape. I was in disguise. Changed clothes. Rocky followed. Covered in mud. Panicked, returned to his cell. That's the stuff. Well, I am not 100% certain on this, so I'm going to save real quick. I feel like this might have everything to do with figuring out where the keys ended up, and if we can figure that out, we might be able to poke a hole in this entire scenario. So... okay, so getting out the cell doors was simple. Really, getting out the cell doors was simple? Alright, so that must mean that you had Knightley's cell keys. There we go.
I have overthrown everything. You say it was simple getting through the cell door?
Yeah, that's right. Got a problem with that? Huh?
Even though you managed to arrive at Knightley's cell, opening the door wasn't so simple. How did you intend to unlock the cell door? J. Elbert, you had the key to Knightley's cell!
I ain't got nothing like that. That's it. It was open. It was already unlocked when I got there.
Indeed, the cell was vacant after Knightley's death, which is why, at the time we conducted our investigation, it was unlocked. Your successful escape attempt occurred after Knightley's death, so the door would have been open. However, you had tried to escape once before then.
Plan was foiled thanks to Rocky. The video shows it.
Yes, that was during the animal show, before Knightley's death was known. And the cell door was locked because no one knew he was dead. Without the key to Knightley's cell, your escape would have been impossible.
That means it can't be.
It's exactly what you think. In the case of the stolen key, the culprit is J. Elbert. You were the one who attacked the guard, weren't you? The guard, and Knightley too, in order to steal the cell key.
It wasn't me. I don't know any Knightley.
After stealing the key, you returned to your cell as a precautionary measure. Then you waited for a time when the prison would be mostly vacant. That was just before Knightley's death became known. In other words, during the animal show. But in the end, the plan was foiled thanks to Rocky. What a cute polar bear.
Don't screw with me. If you don't have any evidence, I'll still win by decision. Besides, it was that Knightley guy who attacked the guard, right?
I think not. Regarding the theft of the keys, Knightley was the victim. This proves Knightley was the victim who was attacked in his cell. Well,
clearly there's blood.
yeah, just like very clearly, an incident did still occur. In Knightley's cell, there were traces of his blood, which had been wiped away. I believe this is more than enough proof Knightley was attacked in his cell. You attacked those two people and stole the key, didn't you?
Damn! I never thought you'd find the bloodstain I wiped away with the newspaper. Why would you go through all the trouble of wiping the bloodstain? On the hands of Knightley and the guard, there were obvious signs of a scuffle, you know? If the bloodstains were uncovered, they'd find out there was another attacker. And if anyone looked around the bed, the tunnel I dug would be discovered.
So you were trying to buy more time for your escape attempt. But I'm afraid to say your plan still ended in failure. Now then, hand over the keys to Knightley's cell.
Oh, God.
So for a second there, I thought he was gonna, like, explode, like, Fist of the North Star style. Like, you poke him once, and then suddenly he balloons out. Kinda sad that didn't happen.
No way! How could an amateur like you knock me out? Here. I got the keys right here.
Ta-da!
Hold it! If you have that key, then that means...
That's right, Judge Courtney. You reasoned that Knightley stole the key and used it to leave his cell. From there, he entered Mr. Key's cage and was moved to the workroom. However, the very foundation of that hypothesis has collapsed.
Oh! I see. In that case, there was only one person who could have moved Knightley. The criminal must have been someone who knew about the secret tunnel. Hey, are you suggesting?
J. Elbert, you're under arrest, pal.
He's already under arrest.
Dude, wait, I didn't do nothing.
Sure, I knocked out those two guys, then I stole the keys. And after that, I waited for the perfect time to enter the guy's cell. But the cell was empty then. There was no dead body either. And also, how could I have gotten into the workroom? Couldn't even leave my own cell, right?
It's true, you only had the key to Knightley's cell. But there's also Doggin's dog.
Well,
It'd be possible for the dog to carry the body from the cell to the workroom.
I see. So you're saying there was an accomplice.
The crime would have been possible if the crime would have been possible if Elbert and Doggin were working together. It's perfectly plausible. Somehow Elbert managed to carry Knightley's body to his own cell.
And then the dog must have carried it to the workroom.
Yes, because all the animals can move freely in the prison. But that's not the case for the path between the detention center and the prison. The only one who could have used that route was you, J. Elbert.
Wait, what if there's another route that you didn't know about?
There couldn't have been. The tunnel is a straight path, is it not?
Yeah, seems like it. I didn't have enough time to dig any more than I did. I only dug halfway up the corridor.
What? You mean to say that you didn't dig the entire tunnel?
When I got to that cell, the tunnel was already there. There's a tunnel linking my cell to the well. Looking down the well from the courtyard, there's no mistaking it. They've always been connected. I just continued the tunnel with my digging. Shit.
What was that hole doing there in the first place?
Who knows? Maybe another inmate dug it in an attempt to escape.
Or maybe the animals dug it. I don't know. I'm trying to think here. It's just like, what would be a very good tunnel for digging? I don't know. Did a wolf show up somewhere? Maybe they wanted to drink from the well?
That's highly doubtful.
There's no water in that well anymore. It's all dried up. Wait a minute. That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent.
A nice scent?
I don't know what it was, but it smelled sweet, like candy.
This scent. I believe we've come across it before. We know this scent from...
The scent was located at where the body was located, correct? Not door sensor. There's no clear direct evidence pointing directly towards the sweet scent stuff, right? Let me see. Thinking. I think, like, the crime scene specifically. Yeah, sweet scent. There we go.
Knightley's body was giving off a sweet candy-like scent. We used a police dog to track that scent, and that led us to discover the tunnel. By any chance, could this be the same scent as the well?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I know what you're trying to say. That the scent proves the body was carried down through the tunnel.
Exactly. And, J. Elbert, you are the only one who could have used the tunnel.
Well, let's just wait on that one.
Thank you, Mr. Elbert. I am very grateful to you. At last the truth comes to light. Mr. Elbert, wouldn't it be wise to confess now? To being an accomplice, I mean.
Don't tell me. Even you suspect me too?
Judge Courtney, it seems you and I have come to the same conclusion.
No, probably not.
Not at all. Our thoughts on this matter are still quite different. Mr. Elbert was certainly an accomplice, but an accomplice to Horace Knightley.
What do you mean?
Mr. Elbert did not move the body. He simply lent the victim his keys.
What?
It would seem Mr. Elbert did indeed strike Mr. Knightley on the head. However, Mr. Knightley was not knocked out. The two must have made a little negotiation. Negotiation? For Mr. Knightley's escape plan to work, he would have needed the keys to his cell, so Mr. Elbert stole them from the guard. On the other hand, for Mr. Elbert to escape, he needed to get to Mr. Knightley's cell. But if Mr. Knightley had seen him and yelled, the plan would have gone down the drain. And so, they negotiated.
I didn't negotiate nothing.
Oh, you still intend to deny it?
Ah, I see. So in other words, we're back where we started. Shit.
Mr. Elbert opened the cell door, and Mr. Knightley entered Mr. Key's cage. And then he was moved into the prison.
Herf.
Of course! And then he was killed in the prison workroom.
Weren't you listening? The scent on the body shows it must have been moved through the tunnel. Knightley was moved from the detention center through the tunnel. Why do I even try?
Please wait until someone is finished before speaking.
I do not claim that he wasn't moved through the tunnel.
What?
You don't? The scent shows that the body was moved through the tunnel. However, that does not mean it came from the detention center. You love Courtney's theme? It's very medieval and creepy. What do you mean? That sure sounds like a contradiction to me. Isn't there one more possibility? The well in the courtyard. It's possible the body was dropped down from there. The courtyard? Oh, the well in the courtyard! You didn't exactly take a look at that, yeah. Mr. Keyes carried the cage not to the workroom, but to the courtyard. Mr. Knightley was killed in the courtyard, and his body was dropped down the well. Shit. And then, the body at the bottom of the well was moved by Mr. Duggan's dog. But now there's one thing I'd like you all to remember. Before the body was discovered, what was happening in the courtyard? The animal show, right? Regina and Simon were there? Wait, Simon... Oh! Yes, damn it. The contrast with the flute question mark of Sebastian. Yeah. Sebastian is just somebody that has the air of someone who knows everything, but actually knows nothing. And that's why I kind of like him. I see you understand. Who then dropped the body down the well?
Judge Courtney. She's a tough opponent. Her flexible way of thinking enables her to adapt and come up with her own deductions.
Mr. Knightley was not carried to the workroom, but to the courtyard. And Mr. Keyes was off stage for 15 minutes. This was when he dropped Mr. Knightley down the well. It's as simple as that.
Judge Courtney, your reasoning is sound, I'll admit that. However, let's say the body was dropped down the well. That didn't have to be done during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Unfortunately for you, Prosecutor Edgeworth, that is not possible.
What?
When the show started, Mr. Elbert was in the tunnel on his way to the cell block. Mr. Elbert, at that time, did you happen to see a body in the tunnel?
Nope, nothing like that.
No.
So if the body had been dropped before the show, Mr. Elbert would have seen it. However, he has stated he did not see a body. So it is impossible to think the body was dropped before the show. And after the show, the body was discovered in the workroom. In other words, the body being dropped down the well and then moved to the workroom could only have been done during the show. And the only one who could have done it is Simon Keyes.
No!
Mr. Edgeworth, what should we do?
I don't freaking know. If the body was moved through the well, that does put Mr. Keyes at a major disadvantage. However, the notion that the body was moved through the well is only a hypothesis, so is everything else here. That doesn't mean there is evidence.
I am obligated to recognize that fact.
Will you allow me to investigate the courtyard once more?
I give my approval, in the name of the Goddess of Law.
Reinvestigating the courtyard. I fear this may be our final chance.
Ah!
What?
Fire!
Could be another prison break, pal!
Shall we evacuate? Someone just pulled the fire alarm. Everyone, please remain calm. This is just the signal for the evening meal. Wow, it's a very violent evening meal. It's a little loud, so I can understand why you'd be surprised. It sure scared me. I'm terribly sorry. And with that, everyone, please return to your posts. Good day. J. Albert, it's also time for you to return to your room.
I got it. Let's go, Rocky.
Warden Roland, we will be proceeding to the courtyard for another investigation.
Isn't it time for you to go home as well, Mr. Edgeworth? It looks like we're out of time. Why don't you continue this another time?
But the investigation...
Today's been a big day, right? With the escaped prisoner and all. So I'm afraid I can't let outsiders like you loiter around any longer. This is my decision as the warden of this prison. Well, good. Looks like it can't be helped. The warden's words can be called the law of the prison. Prosecutor Edgeworth, this means we will have to carry out our investigation another day. Until then, you may hold on to your prosecutor's badge. Oh, gee, what a consolation prize. And with that, I leave you. Adieu. Get out of here, you bastards. Now I think it's time you all left.
Well, it looks like we'll have to continue the investigation tomorrow. Knightley's body was dropped down the well and was carried to the workroom from Mr. Elbert's cell. This is Judge Courtney's logic, but is it correct? And Judge Courtney claims that Mr. Keyes transported him. But was Mr. Keyes really the only one with a chance to move him?
Mr. Edgeworth, let's do our best tomorrow. We have to save Simon, no matter what.
Indeed, I agree. I must prove Mr. Keyes' innocence without fail. Or lose badge. Badge lost forever. Anyways.
So that being said, I actually do think that it's time to end this and do this another day. Mainly because there's been a lot of screaming this episode. And yeah, when we return, we're going to be coming back to this courtyard. And now we're going to be able to take a look at the basketball stuff, which is kind of neat. To Bestine. Justine, can you buy McDonald's? No, we had to McDonald's last week, but I want a Happy Meal. That's very unfortunate. It is like a little 12-year-old being like carried around by mommy. Okay. Again, I think that will do it for the stream tonight. So thanks everybody who popped in to watch, say hi, say stuff in the chat, or help out in certain situations. That was fun. He's 17. I still call him a child because that's exactly what he is. Anyways, if we want to take a look at this after the stream's finished, I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing for the recording since we had that little incident with the stream cutting out. So I'll be chopping that back together, and maybe I'll cut out some of the problems I had with some of the issues I had with attempting to try and figure out certain answers, perhaps. And then I'll upload it to the YouTube channel after I'm done with that. My stream schedule, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. All I'm starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Some games I am currently lining up for. I want to do Stardew Valley again. It's not happening this week because I can't piece things together with who I am playing the multiplayer stuff with. I want to get back to Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure if I want to do that next week or not. I don't know. I feel a little bit like playing West of Loathing. Just a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. I'll see. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't really have any like tentative plans for what I'm going to be doing sometime soon. So maybe tune in tomorrow just to see what I'm planning, what I'm doing. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.